That interjection from the HRD Ministry was very, very kindly. And now I'm back onto my panel and I request Alka Malhotra to next.
Good afternoon, all of you. I am Alka Malhotra. I work with UNICEF, which is United Nations Children's Fund. And United Nations Children's Fund is mandated by the UN to be the guardians or safeguards of children's rights. So I think in that space, I'm standing here just to speak with you. I came here essentially to listen and not so much to speak, but I was asked by the kind organizers to say my two bit into this little forum that's here. UNICEF essentially is concerned with children's rights, as I said, and for us rights mean right to survive, right to development, protection, and potential to grow. With that kind of a backdrop, what we're doing in India essentially is working with government programs like the Right to Education, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan on the education side, a lot with the health, the National Rural Health Mission, the National, it used to be Total Sanitation Campaign, it's now called Abhiyan, NBA, and immunization, survival, so that entire package. And from the communication for development perspective, which is what I work on, we are essentially interested in social and behavior change so that children can survive. Now with that kind of a thinking, UNICEF in India has, over the past 5 years, the communication for development section that I work with, investing a lot in media-based innovations. So we really look at the media environment. We look at television access. As per the latest census figures, it's about 47% people watch television, so you can really reach them with television. Radio access. We're looking at the new technologies of the mobile phone. Very small, but what can we do with mobile phone as the access is increasing? It's about 50%, more than 53% now in India. And internet for us is very nascent because as of now, the access is small. However, there is no denying, and I'm speaking to the converted, and I am converted myself, there is no denying the potential that exists with internet access and ability to go onto the internet and do things. There are immense examples from Africa and young people and how lives have changed by just having access to the internet, whether on the phone or through a kiosk, the way that it's working. So for us, when it's about child rights, there are essentially 3 kinds of audiences that I would be interested in, or stakeholders. Children themselves, in school, out of school, young adolescents, mothers, parents of children, essentially mothers because survival happens within the first 2 years of life. So though they become a very important constituent. And then the third very important constituent, which Madam mentioned also, are for me the service providers, whether it's the health network, the ASHA workers, Anganwadi workers, or the teachers who are engaging with children. So they become another very important constituent that an internet-based kiosk or a service center like yours can actually influence. They are, for me, the low-hanging fruit because they are already evolved to some extent and they can really use these services as they exist. So there's no denying that the platform is here to stay and will only grow. With that understanding, what can we really do with this platform? And I have a couple of thoughts. Content for me exists. There is a lot of content out there, Intel, the national curriculum, there is a lot of content. One now needs to see, for us and from where I come, especially from communication for development, who are we going to engage with that content? And then the content can be determined as per the audience that we are engaging with. For me, again, there are two basic audiences that come to mind. Parents of children, and with them, you need a different kind of content. You need content related to health, you need content related to survival, you need content related to where can I get my immunization, what do I need, birth registration. That's some of the things that can come through the internet, which is easy. And the second audience for me are the service providers. I continue to call them the low-hanging fruit because they are to some extent more literate, they are savvy, they have mobility. Mothers may not be able to come, but teachers can come. Mothers may not be able to come, but the Anganwadi worker, the Asha worker is mandated to do certain things, so she has a certain amount of mobility. She has the ability to access these services for what she thinks is appropriate. So for us now, if we go by the audience that we want to reach, and then determine the content, it would be easier also to motivate the users to come to the service center, as you were saying. So the two audiences. And a third point that I want to leave behind here, very important from my perspective, is the ability to engage, as in keep getting this audience back again to the center. What can we do so that people come back? Are they so satisfied with the quality of the service that is provided? Are they so satisfied with the content of the service that is provided? And are they also so satisfied with the facilitation that happens, the facilitator that is there? Is that person able to solve the problems to a large extent? So that, for me, is the last point I would like to make now in terms of the kind of service and engagement at the service center so that that service stays. My two-bit in a room full of people who are completely engaged with this. But as I said, I may be just standing at the door, but I'm definitely interested in what's happening here and immense potential that comes to bear with this technology as it's going. Thank you so much.